How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2022 animated comedy film, and this is the fourth and final film of the series that was created back in 2012 by Sony Pictures Animation, and that is Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. Now, this fourth entry to the series was not directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, who directed the three movies. This one is directed by first-time directors Drymon and Jennifer Kluska. And in this film, after one experiment, we see that Johnny, once again voiced by Andy Samberg, has turned into a monster, and the monsters has turned into humans. And from there, we see that they have to figure out if they can reverse this experiment or not, because if they don't, it will become permanent. So that's pretty much the story of Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. Now, the first movie I really enjoyed. I overall think it's a pretty fun and entertaining animated film, and I really like the style that Genndy Tartakovsky went for that film, which it went for a cartoony style of animation. The second movie, wasn't as good as the original movie, but I didn't think it was a bad sequel. I overall thought that sequel was pretty enjoyable, but it just wasn't as bad than the original. And the third movie, which was Summer Vacation, I also put that movie on par with the second one because it just wasn't. It was also just not as good as the original film, but I still thought it was an enjoyable sequel to the series. So when I heard we were getting a fourth entry to the series, I was really looking forward to this new entry to the series. However, there were a few changes around this whole movie because there were a few cast changes, such as like Adam Sandler, which he didn't return for this movie as Dracula, so he got replaced in this movie, as well as with Kevin James himself, in which he also did not return for this movie as well, to play Frankie again. And also, as I mentioned before, that Genndy Tartakovsky did not direct this film because this one is directed by first-time directors Drymon and Jennifer Kluska. But Genndy Tartakovsky himself is still involved with this movie for writing this movie, as well as being part of the storytelling as well. And also, this entry was not released theatrically like the last three films because this one had to skip cinemas due to the pandemic situation, so it ended up getting released on Amazon Prime, and it came out back in January 2022. And I didn't check out this movie straight away when it came out on Amazon Prime, but I did see this film just a couple of days after it was released on Prime Video. So, and I even did rewatch the three movies in preparation for this movie. And after watching this whole movie here, unfortunately, I would have to say this is the weakest entry in the series here because I was pretty disappointed with this movie. But I didn't flat out hate everything about this movie because I overall thought this movie was just a mediocre entry to this franchise here. The things that I did like in this movie was the concept, in which I thought the concept of this film was pretty creative, where we get to see the humans turn into monsters and the monsters turn into humans, which I thought all that was well creative. But the storytelling for the film I thought was less engaging because it felt like it didn't even know where I wanted to go for in this film. But as for its message of the film, I thought it was pretty strong, where it's basically about acceptance, which I did like that message of the film, when we get to see the relationship between Dracula and Johnny in the film, when we get to see them traveling to South America where they're trying to find this crystal so they can hopefully reverse this experiment that's happened towards them, as well as for the other characters in the film. And as for its humor in the film, the humor for the most part, it was enjoyable for the most part, mostly due to the banter between the characters in this movie, which I did like some of those moments in the film. And as for the voice work in the film, like the returning cast members from the three movies, like Andy Samberg, Selena Gomez, and Steve Buscemi, David Spade, and Keegan-Michael, they're just once again really fun in the movie. And as for the replacement voice actors who replaced Adam Sandler and Kevin James, like you've got Brian Hull who've replaced Adam Sandler in the film. He was pretty solid in the movie as Dracula, and as for the actor who replaced Kevin James in the movie as Frankie, I also thought was pretty solid as well. And as for its animation, it's just, of course, once again, really great, just like the last three films. So again, I really like the style that these films go for here, where they go for a cartoony style, where we get to see, because it provides a few crazy slapstick stuff in the movie here, when we get to see these characters do some crazy stuff in the film in terms of its in terms of the comedy and all that. However, the direction of the film I kind of felt was a bit flat because it kind of lacked the charm from what the first three films had and all that. And that's another issue they have with the film. It just kind of lacked the charm from what the first three films had and all that. But in the end, guys, Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, I overall thought this was overall an okay finale to this pretty fun and entertaining cartoony animated series. And if you're overall a huge fan of the three films, I would definitely say this would definitely be a good treat for the kids here. So that's pretty much all I've to say about Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. I'm going to give Hotel Transylvania, Transformania 2.5 out of 5. Again, as I said before, I thought this movie was just overall just mediocre here, and it certainly wasn't a bad experience for myself for watching this film at home or anything. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, and let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already or if you just recently checked this out. Did you have fun with this or you're very disappointed with this? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Fogan's Media Corner signing off.